Oh man, that intro is so quick. It almost catches me off guard every single time. But you know that audience retention is key on YouTube, and we want to get you into our regular Tuesday channel audits as quickly as possible. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 25 of 2022 Tuesday channel audits. We are nearly halfway through the year, if you can believe it, and you are talking and conversing with me, the host with the least, Mr. Robert Wilsanio, and I'm going to be guiding you through the next couple of hours of education, entertainment, experience, wisdom, knowledge, and maybe a few tears along the way as we open up our learning school, our lecture hall, our inquisitive amphitheater of education, knowledge, wisdom, and YouTube tips, strategies, and guides as you be vulnerable. You offer your channel for critique, for feedback, for praise, for auditing. That's what happens here, and we welcome you to it. I have a question that I'm going to pose to our wonderful co-hosts, as always. The first person who, since they are a co-producer on this live stream, I'm going to allow this person to introduce themselves whenever they want to on screen. I'm not going to press a button for them. He is... Oh, I wasn't expecting that person. You sneaky person, Dan. You're introducing random people. Hey, Travis, how you doing?
See, he's back there messing around on the thing. I see everybody. Hey, everybody. I just want to say that this is the most important thing that you were here all day. This Saturday, I did a live stream, and the very famous Emily D. Baker dropped by the live stream, which I think is amazing. And not only did she do that, she dropped a little nugget that I guess she's going to be investigating the Vince McMahon scandal on her channel, which I will watch every single minute of. I thought that was kind of fun.
Good God!
So I'm very famous now.
Oh my God, he's going to get him. He's going to be... No, he get Vince McMahon kicked out once again.
No, he did. And he just keeps showing up. Matter of fact, Vince will be here in about 5 minutes.
All right, then. Introducing next, if he wants to introduce himself. No, he's just pressing random buttons. Whatever he wants. Dan,
Why?
Come on, get on this live stream. Say hello.
Oh, hello. I don't have any cool stories about Emily.
No, I was hoping you were going to say something. I was taking a quick, fresh refreshment there. All right, well, Dan's going to be completely useless during this live stream. He's going to sabotage it and offer no advice whatsoever. But I want to ask you all a question before we kick off, as usual, to introduce you and get the conversation flowing. It is VidCon this week. It is a first VidCon in 3 years. And if you're not sure what that is, you call it the Oscars or the Grammys, kind of, or like everybody gets together for this huge, I don't know what you would call it, like festival of content creators, and that's happening starting tomorrow. And so I wanted to ask all of you, if you were going to the convention, whether or not you are, who would you love to meet at that convention in terms of a content creator? And I'll go first and say, I'd say the one creator for the last decade that I have watched without fail whenever they publish a video, irrespective of what it is about, is MKBHD, the tech creator. Phenomenal creator. I think is a pioneer in that space. You look at the 80% of the content and how it's filmed in the tech space, I think it's been influenced by MKBHD. So that's who I would love to meet at a convention or whatnot. What about you, Dan? Have you got a creator you admire and would like to meet?
You know, in doing the research for a video that you and I are discussing doing, I've been, becoming quite the fan of Ryan Trahan, who's been traveling across America trying to deliver Mr. Beast a penny. So the daily vlogging right now. I just think they're doing incredible work. I think it'd be really cool to pick their brain about YouTube.
Good news for you, Dan. I've done my research, and so we can start that video tomorrow morning. Nice. I apologize for delaying this morning. Travis, who would you like to meet?
Well, I've been really fortunate in my YouTube journey to have met and actually collabed with a lot of the creators that I've always wanted to meet or talk to. The one person I would say that I really have not, even though I've had a brief interaction with him, would be Casey Neistat. I would definitely love to sit down and chat with him. I've had little messages here and there from him, but I've never really just got to sit down and talk. I think that would be amazing. And by the way, you know, we usually are at, or at least Rob and I are usually at VidCon. We won't be there this year. However, good old Jeff from El Jefe Reviews will be there, and Tish and some other people at the vidIQ booth. So if you are going, go say hi to Jeff. You've seen him here every couple of weeks and tell him the Claw.
Yeah, just go up to him. Everybody go up to him and say, the Claw. See how well that gets quickly. Yeah, we are, of course, at VidCon. Fortunately, I can't be there this year due to travel problems. It's kind of good news, bad news. I became a Canadian citizen a couple of weeks ago, but it means that I can't travel until I get a new passport. So that's the only reason I'm not going. But it means that I can spend time with all of you on this live stream. We got a couple of people saying they would like to meet various creators. Castle Bricks Bills It, PewDiePie, another one there for Ryan Trahan from Turbo Cat Official. Dempsey J Illustrations, Pop Cross Studios, they would like to meet. There, Mr. Beast, of course, we assumed that was going to come up at some point. Grayson the Gamer, Danny Gonzalez, and have we got anyone else here who wants to meet some people? Got a couple more Mr. Beasts. We got Markiplier as well. That one's just scroll off screen. Vanilla Golden Dog, one of our vidIQ Max members. Tucker and Budzin, Beluga also coming up. So yeah, everybody but Rob Wilson.
Well, Tish said that. Actually, Tish said that in the chat. You missed it. Tish already said.
Oh, thanks, Tish. Thanks. Yeah, because we haven't actually met yet. I don't believe in person.
That's actually kind of crazy, right? We've been working with her for a while now, and she's been in the community for a couple of years now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I'm just putting all of these people on screen, like who you want to meet. Plenty of people, but you have to deal with us for the next couple of hours. And if you are new here, do let us know in the chat. If you are a regular here, please do welcome in all of those new members to the vidIQ audit experience that works a little bit like this. Welcome to the vidIQ channel audit live stream, where we review your YouTube channels. To submit your channel for review, make sure to fill out the right form linked in the video description. Note that we clear these forms after every live stream, so make sure to resubmit the following week. Channel audits are free, so please don't send us a super chat or spam us in a chat expecting a review. If there are alternative ways to get picked for an audit, we will let you know during the live stream. If we don't get around to reviewing your channel today, vidIQ has a channel audit tool working 24/7 with you. Make sure to download our tools and use the 30-day free trial using the link in the video description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our moderators who do a phenomenal job every single week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As for all of you, well, thumbs up if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and if you know of a fellow creator who may find all of this stuff useful, please do share it with them. And with all of that being said, let's start auditing your channels. Final bits of housekeeping before we start the channel audits. We continue to support Creators for Peace, helping displaced children in the Ukraine. So if you see that little panel box on the screen and you want to donate, we appreciate it. It does not influence whether or not we audit channels. And as usual, we have... what is this?
During the intro is so good.
So your exits are here, here, and here. And we do not serve any food or beverages, unfortunately. And if you want to purchase any duty-free, you're in the wrong place, because is duty-free even a thing anymore?
I don't know what that is.
Completely lost my train of thought. What was I saying? We audit a lot of channels. Yes, we do. We audit at least 20 to 30 channels a week. We have audited thousands of channels on this live stream. And yet we have still only audited maybe 5 to 10% of people who submitted over that time, because we get 500 plus submissions every single week. So what I recommend you do is that if you have a second screen available where you can bring up your channel, bring that up now, so that when we're talking about a gaming channel or a entertainment channel, a vlogging channel, a tech channel, etc., we will talk about many fundamentals that hopefully that you can take from what we're discussing and apply it to your channel. In terms of, do you need to resubmit on the form? as long as you submitted on the form when the live stream went public yesterday, then you are in the list. But we purge it after every single live stream. So there'll be like 500 submissions at the end of this live stream. We delete all of them and we start all over again the following week to make sure that people who are submitting are actually here and will turn up. With all of that being said, Dan, Travis, myself, I think it's time to start auditing some channels. And as per usual, we always audit the first channel that's submitted in the form when the live stream goes public that hasn't been audited previously, and it is Lucas Skywalker this week. Let's start with you, Travis. Just first impressions.
I love that name because obviously Luke Skywalker. I think it's very easy to remember. You know, I'm a big fan of that, and it's directly about Star Wars. Love that. Talking about Obi-Wan, which is great. The show is current. I love it. The thumbnails are strong. It's just a really well put together channel. So to be honest, from the outside looking in, I say this channel is really well put together. So then the question is, okay, why is it not getting more traction? You'll notice that every once in a while it gets great traction. Why are they doing the Star Wars fan? It got 500 views. This one from 3 days ago, Yoda and Obi-Wan fought Anakin, got 750 views. Like, it's really, really good. So what you want to look at is, what is it about these videos that is different than the other videos you've done? And what subject matter are they really going into that people really connected with over and above the other ones? Because quite frankly, from the thumbnail design and the title design, you're pretty darn good. Maybe I would change a couple things about, like, so the Obi-Wan episode 3 breakdown doesn't entice me. So would it be more interesting is, so let's see, the one on the right with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, any of these, like that one right there, like the title itself isn't enticing enough. You got to use our AI title generator. I'd be interested to see what that would come up with. And then the title in the thumbnail itself, this is breakdown. That's also not exactly a good use of that word. You'll see the other one, this is why, next to it with the Darth Vader. Again, close, but this is why what? Like, there's something that the title itself, why did Darth Vader let Obi-Wan Kenobi go? And this is why. That's a great connection. The breakdown isn't. And the views kind of show the difference here. Even though the thumbnail styles are very similar, the view counts are substantially different because I think the intrigue is different. So assuming that your retention is good, and that's a big assumption, from the outside looking in, this is a strong channel. Just needs to figure out what are the title strategies they need to go with moving forward, and then also what topics specifically within this are the things they need to go after. I love the overall channel design and everything else about it. I think I really, really enjoy.
It's a cool observation there, Travis, in terms of the breakdowns are very much describing a what as opposed to a why. Even in the thumbnail itself, like, just imagine if you change that wording from breakdown to something that relates to the fact that you can just see a bit of Darth Vader's face, whether it be reveal or, I don't know, I can't think of a word off the top of my head, but, you know, something that's a little more intriguing and creates that curiosity could have a significant impact on these breakdowns. And I think just a lot of the other stuff is like what ifs and lore and riffing on Star Wars culture and stories and adding intrigue and conversation, which is why I think these videos are probably performing a little bit better than just the breakdowns. What about you, Dan? Any thoughts?
I was trying to look because there's a channel I was watching that was covering Severance. They cover a lot of different shows, but when I was watching Severance, this is the first time I've went out seeking people to break down the show, because there's so much in there that I was keeping up with. I'm like, did I miss anything? And
yes, you did.
Yeah, and someone did a fantastic job of like pointing it out, and they would give their opinions as well. And I really loved their breakdowns, and they used the same kind of titling structure. But I just went and looked at their channel again, and Severance videos were doing really good, but other shows they were covering were not doing as good. So I think the popularity of that show really helped carry their channel. I think the titles and the thumbnails were a little less consequential. So I don't know exactly what I would do differently, but where I would start is with an opinion. Instead of saying breakdown, I would give a maybe controversial opinion about that episode. And I would give people a little bit of a nugget as well. I wouldn't say, why did Darth Vader let Obi-Wan go? This is why. I would imply something in that thumbnail a little bit more, just to entice you a little bit more. It's like, this is why, but there's some fire. And it's like, okay. you know what I mean? So something to just make it click even more and make people go, oh, I didn't even notice that. Like sometimes all it takes is a zoomed out shot and you circle something, you know, and make sure it's relevant to the video. But a lot of times I've seen really effective thumbnails where it's something small. And if you're going to say this is why, yeah, circle some little detail or something like that, if applicable. But yeah, I don't know. Now I feel like I'm rambling, but I do love where this channel's going. And I do think there is a lot of successful, like, TV show breakdown style YouTube channels out there that you can look at.
The foundation is really strong, isn't it? Like fantastic thumbnails. Most of the titles are creating some form of curiosity. Very consistent, jumping on, you know, what's culturally trending in the Star Wars universe. We're looking at Obi-Wan Kenobi, but not just relying on that solely. I guess the challenge is that they are in a already well-established competitive space. So how are they going to break through that? And that's going to be their challenge, I think, almost eternally in this space. The other thing to point out here is that with the number of subscribers they have, and some of the view counts on some of the videos are very encouraging as well, more views than subscribers. And we can actually use one of our tools here at vidIQ, the stats tool here, just to illustrate how this channel is starting to build up some traction. The view counts have significantly increased in the last couple of weeks, presumably because they are tackling the Obi-Wan Kenobi content. Subscribers are up significantly, and there's the video publishing rate as well. And this is just one of the free tools we have here at vidIQ with our software. So if you do want to download it and take advantage of that and other tools like this channel breakdown, one of my favorite tools, telling me exactly how the channel is performing over the last couple of days and weeks, then you can use the link in the video description, which will automatically give you 30 days full access to all of our tools. Travis hinted at our title generator. That is one of the boost tools, and this creator may want to take advantage of that to see if they can get any more curiosity out of their titles, and that would be one of the other tools that you could use for vidIQ. So the link is on screen now. It's in the description. Do make sure to take advantage of it. And that is our first channel audited, Lucas Skywalker. Let's move on to our next channel. And as always, it is the first gaming channel that's submitted this week, and they go by the name of Flaming Ultimate. And Dan, just as I look at the subscriber count, the channel banner, the plethora of different thumbnails, I think we're going to be going back to basics on this channel to help this channel get kickstarted.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different interests, I think, being, you know, flowing into this channel from this creator, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think when you first start on YouTube, especially if you're a younger creator, it's good to just kind of upload some stuff and figure things out, you know, get the hang of editing, get the hang of the upload process. And if I were looking at this channel, just, you know, and I am for the first time, just as an outsider, I would say that's probably what they're doing, is testing things. If you don't feel that way, then that's going to be the first place you should be looking. That's where you should kind of work on next. It looks like for about 10 months now. So the first title and thumbnail, just playing Among Us, you know, we have a number of things to say about that in terms of, like, what about playing Among Us? Why should I watch that? There's one video just titled Minecraft. Let's look at the latest just real quick. And it just says, so we're still using titles that don't really entice anyone to click on these. So, like, Help Us, and you can't really tell what's going on. Looking at Social Blade. Oh, okay.
All right.
You know, that, and I'm saying okay is like the person who's finding this on YouTube in the wild, looking at Social Blade. They're just going to keep scrolling. New house and 10 million. 10 million what? Like that looks like some intrigue. You were trying to get some intrigue in there. Did the house cost 10 million credits in the game? Roblox, if it's Roblox, I see YouTube Life. I don't know what kind of currency they use. What, like 10 million what? And then there's like a picture of like a toilet. So I'm a little bit confused in every single video. So the first thing you need to do is pick a game and pick your favorite one that actually you feel like has an audience, and go for it. Make your next 10 to 50 videos about that game. Start playing around with titles and thumbnails. And the best thing I can do is recommend, it might be linked below, Rob, the How to Start a Gaming Channel video.
I think it is there. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So check the description. There should be a link for how to start a gaming channel in 2022, or just search for that exact phrase. And watch the video we did this year and watch the one last year as well, because they just kind of build on top of each other, about all of our tips and tricks for starting a new gaming channel. If you feel like your gaming channel looks like this, that would be the first place I would send you. If you're like, I'm not even sure what the heck I'm doing. I'm not sure what game to play. I'm not sure who I'm making my content for. That's where I would send you.
I had a list of 6 gaming videos, how to start gaming related content in our description. So do make sure to check out all of them. And Dan, you've given me an idea for some merch that we should do, which says channel audits be like, and then ... And then there was a picture of a toilet. I just feel as if that is kind of like some of the essence sometimes of channels when we're auditing and just like weird and random stuff come up. Picture of a toilet bowl. Yeah, you got to have that in a thumbnail. The one final thing I would say about this channel is that they have one, I guess, very loose focus, which is playing YouTube live. They seem to come back to that on occasion amongst everything else. So if there was to be some channel focus, that may be it. And then also something I've just noticed is that they tend to go on these publishing spurts. Like in the last 24 hours, they've published what seems to be 5 videos, and a significant number of videos in the last week. But then as I scroll down, you'll have a break of a week, and then you'll have a break of 2 months. So trying to maybe be a little more strategic with the publishing of your content. And if you do find a time to create 5 or 6 videos all at once, effectively batch creating content, try and stagger it out a little bit more. So you're not just throwing a ton of videos onto YouTube all at once, where your audience is probably more akin to watching one of your videos and then waiting another couple of days and then watching another one, rather than trying to consume everything all at once. So that is the Flaming Ultimates. And the next channel we are going to look at is one of our, yes, can you see that in the top right hand corner? Our vidIQ Max members. And what we're trying to offer our vidIQ Max members, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, is the extra perk of guaranteeing some of them a channel audit. And the channel we're going to audit this week goes by the name of Created by Gwen. And we've been told by the vidIQ Max Jedi Master that they are refusing to audit this channel. And so it's left to Dan and I to take a look at this channel.
I think when you say it like that, Rob, it comes off really bad. That's not exactly the way it was stated.
Those were your exact
Don't
words. I'm not touching this channel.
That's not what happened, Gwen. Stop it.
All right. So Gwen's channel, she has 2,000 subscribers, sharing her love of all the paper things. Dan, first impressions, but I don't want you to go on for too long because I know you've just spent quite a long time auditing that previous channel. I do want to try and chip in and help you out here.
So just for the channel we just looked at, this is kind of what channel focus looks like when we say, we want to see a channel that is consistently making content for the same audience. This is going to be a channel that appeals to people who want to know more about scrapbooking, probably into different products for creating the best scrapbooks. And I think that's awesome. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about scrapbooking. So
Me neither.
As I look at this, I'm tempted to go and look at other scrapbooker channels to see if there's any, there we go. It's different kinds of inspiration here.
So you're getting that kind of pastel colored thumbnail vibe. I think of all of these thumbnails that really jump out, it's perhaps this one. And they use that certain type set as a font, which is kind of, because I've seen 2 of these channels doing it. Is it the same creator? No, different creators using that same scrapbook
that label
fonts.
or
yeah.
Interesting. You know what's different about these thumbnails compared to the channel we're looking at is in every single one, it's way more zoomed out. There's always a picture of a book, like you can see the binding and everything. And in this, it's always a picture of like stickers and stuff in their thumbnails. So these have stickers, but I think that's now I'm seeing like a big difference here. The context is intact with these thumbnails. Like you see some stickers, but you kind of see why there are stickers. So if you're scrolling through, you can tell, oh, right, scrapbooking video, because there's the book, there's the binding, there's the pages. And yeah, in this channel, we're so zoomed in on stuff. And so I think artistically, these all look nice, but it's hard to kind of see what's going on. There's just a lot of colors and shapes.
Yeah, we often talk, Dan, don't we, that for most types of channels, you need to zoom in and really focus on the detail of something in particular. Whereas in this example, zooming out and almost showing that the whole book, the whole experience. I even saw some with a bit of stationery aligned, strategically around the edges of the book, seem to have more of a visual appeal to them. And also, I think on this one, the zoomed in images combined with the text makes this look more complex and very flat. Like when I'm looking at these thumbnails, I'm not sure where my eye should be drawn to in terms of what I should be reading. And obviously some of the text is pretty much unreadable. In some of these, I'll be trying to limit it down to 3 words if possible, and not including any of these subheadings on any of these thumbnails, just because I can't read it.
It's weird because I keep missing those. Every thumbnail has them, but my eyes don't go to them at all. Like the text, they're practically invisible, and I think it's because it's like white, like on white, basically. All the images are very bright, and then the little square is white with the text in it, and the text is just kind of, I guess, unremarkable in terms of the font, especially when it's a font that's not black. It just kind of fades. It's like they use a color from the thumbnail, which is a common practice, but it just kind of like fades into obscurity. So thumbnails, I think, are going to be the biggest thing, because scrapbooking in general is very aesthetic, and then the thumbnails we saw on the other page, very aesthetic, very like, that's why people scrapbook. They want to create something like really nice. And I know you have the skills based on these thumbnails. I can tell you're very capable of that, but I think the execution in terms of YouTube is wrong. I think you would hang any of these pictures on your wall if you were to print them, right? But because they're very nice, but I don't want to offend you or anything. It's just for a YouTube thumbnail, it's really about when somebody scrolls by, them seeing it and understanding what they're looking at immediately. Because if they have to think about it, they're just going to keep scrolling. They're not going to take the time to think about it.
Yeah, you've moved on to. Sorry, go ahead, Travis, please.
I do want to add one thing. So her thumbnail style is almost completely in line with scrapbooking in general. Like, they all look similar to this. And I'm just going to pose a thought. And for people that are in vidIQ Max, where we think on a different level, we don't think about just, some of the kind of baseline things. We like to think on a different level. Like, we take things to a different level in vidIQ Max. I want you to consider this. I've always wondered, there's a couple of niches where the thumbnail style is pretty much established, kind of like this. And kind of going against that, generally speaking, doesn't work so well. But my thought is, if someone could stand out just enough, not completely left of center, but just enough, would that then bring more people to them than the other scrapbooking channels? Because they have a definitive brand to them, and they're not just in the wall of all the other channels. Like, could that work? So I'll just pose that as a question.
I'm just going through these thumbnails, see if there's any that kind of.
I think there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for disruption in this space.
Yeah.
I still think it's important to have the whole book on the screen.
I agree.
But
here's what I think after looking at these thumbnails for a little bit longer. And Dan, you alluded to this in terms of making the viewer think and having to decode the thumbnail. When I look at these without seeing the titles, I'm instinctively thinking greeting cards and birthday cards as opposed to scrapbooking, just because of the detail of them and the style. And so I'm almost being pushed, my mind is being pushed in a slightly different direction. So that's why I think, this zooming out to show the whole scrapbook is pretty important, actually. Just my opinion, though, in terms of looking at these thumbnails. Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. Like, I think greeting cards, Hallmark store, and that's
this one especially. This feels like a birthday card. Just when I just look at it and instinctively see it.
Yeah,
because I've got the heart there, I've got the happy, and so I'm thinking happy birthday or whatnot, and yeah, just a little bit of unintentional misdirection.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I'd be working on, because I think the video length is probably pretty good, especially like if I'm discovering this channel for the first time and I don't want to make like a huge commitment. I like to see, videos that are a little bit shorter, because I'm like, I don't know about this creator. So I think the video length is probably good. I would still compare that as well to other scrapbooking channels. The production quality looks nice.
Yep. Well lit.
Yep.
Pattern paper that were still 12 inches long, so they would run.
So got a voice narration going on there.
Audio quality's good.
So all of the costuming and
So
everything.
I almost feel as if this would be a better thumbnail.
In some ways,
any of
I
the
agree.
stills.
Actually,
Any of the stills here.
and then
I mean, let's get to the end.
I'll see you all in the next video. Until then,
All right. Just,
see that right there, almost with her
I
hands
almost
on the
got it. Hang on,
sides.
hang on. Yeah. I'm just like something
Weirdly
like
enough,
that.
Yeah. Actually,
Maybe-
to me,
Maybe with some
it's
text in the top
interesting.
right hand corner, left hand corner.
Yeah, I agree. Like something like this could actually work. Huh. Well, hopefully
All right,
that's
so
helpful.
that is created by Gwen, and of course, as we were saying, this is one of our vidIQ Max members, which we now have a whole brand new page that you can visit and learn a little bit more about what vidIQ Max is. But since we have the resident Jedi Master of vidIQ Max in the house, Travis, tell us a little bit more about this wonderful service that is just taking creators to the next level here at vidIQ.
Yeah, vidIQ Max is really the brainchild of myself, Jeff, and Alexi. We wanted to take creators to another level by taking Boost, all the things in vidIQ, and then adding coaching into it. So we have a private Discord, which people are in right now chatting at. Myself, Jeff, and Alexi are in there all the time. We're answering questions. And then we do a couple of live streams every month. You also have access to the live streams previously, and which right now is like 17 hours worth of content. And the gentlemen here, Dan and Rob, come through Discord and do random things. We've had live Q&As, we've done channel audits, and a channel audit in Max where there's not 1,700 people trying to get their channels audited tends to happen. In other words, if you're in Max, you tend to get your channel audited one way or another. But more importantly than that, you learn a lot of great things. Just 2 weeks ago, we had Ian Corzine come through and tell us things about copyright and fair use that literally would have cost you hundreds of dollars to learn. But with vidIQ Max, it's all in there at one time. So you might want to check it out. Link should be in the description. Find out more about vidIQ Max. We are super excited about this. We're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I put a link on screen now. There is a link in the description. One thing I have just realized and I'm devastated about, Travis, Dan, Jeff, Alexi,
and then random people and no Rob. What's that all about?
Rob. So I'm quitting.
How did that happen?
I'm going to quit vidIQ Max until
Cancelled.
But yeah, I think one of the great things about this, as you mentioned, Travis, is that we promise a lot, but we also sneak in a ton of other stuff.
Oh my God, we do.
It's like, Gwen probably had Gwen saw that little perk that we added in a Discord channel yesterday, like add your channel. Let me just show you. We have 316 non-gaming channels, and we have 284 gaming channels. We got 600 submissions.
Yep.
In the Discord form that was filled out, we had about 7 or 8. So
the chances of getting picked were very high.
Yeah, they're pretty high, and we're guaranteeing that people are going to get audited in these live streams. So do make sure to check out vidIQ Max. We appreciate that it is not for everybody. There is the cost to it, but this is why we offer all of this free stuff, this free live stream that you're getting right now, and the one that you'll get tomorrow, and all of the free content. But if you want to take your channel to the next level, if you are monetized and you're looking to find ways to reinvest back into your channel, vidIQ Max is amazing now, and it only gets better the more people who join, because you get that peer-to-peer conversation, and it is all about just YouTube as well. We've got 3 coaches in there monitoring the conversation, moderating it, make sure that the conversation is in the right place. And yeah, as Travis also said, going back to the fact that you get all of these vidIQ tools included in the price, vidIQ Max actually equates to an extra $2 a day on top of all of the other tools that we offer you. So it's a fantastic deal. vidIQ Max, do check it out.
And
thank you for allowing us to indulge ourselves in a plug.
wait,
Dan,
we're
yes?
not done. Friday.
Oh.
You forgot to mention
Friday. Yes. Matter of fact, another bonus this Friday. Dan and Rob are going to stop by the Discord in vidIQ Max and just do an Ask Me Anything. And they do this stuff all the time. Like, we never advertise that as part of the things you get with Max, but we throw bonuses in all the time. And if you like Rob and Max, if you like Rob and Dan, Max is the way to go. If you like Max, then you should come get Max.
If I am added there, otherwise Dan is doing it by himself.
Great.
Let's move on to the next channel then. That we're going to audit. This was picked from our form. One of the 1 in 300 that got picked out. It is D&D Daily. I'm going to assume it's Dungeons and Dragons with that. What shape would you call that?
So it's a dice. It's a D20. I just don't now. I don't know the shape name, but it's a D20. So I picked this channel because I really liked, the focus of the channel, right? Like, they are living up to their name. They are making, as far as I can tell, daily content about D&D. I did watch a little bit of their videos. We won't do that today. In fact, tomorrow we'll be live again, and we'll be actually doing video reviews. So be sure to tune in for that, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. And if this channel were to pop up, I would love to talk about some of the stuff they're actually doing in their videos. But just on the surface, they are basically talking about D&D, but that's as much as I can gather. And that's why I wanted to bring this channel up, because I think since they are committed to doing daily content, I would be in this boat myself. I'm presuming right now that this might be the situation you're in. It's hard to take a step back and reevaluate your content and try and figure out, okay, I'm only getting X many views on average per video. What could I be doing differently? And the first thing I notice is the thumbnail style, which they have experimented with a little bit, but for the most part, it's always this weird circular texture background. It's them taking up most of the thumbnail, and then imagery from what I assume is Dungeons and Dragons. But it's kind of small, it's full of detail, and it doesn't resonate. Like, I don't look at these thumbnails and think, oh, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And
instinctively, yeah.
Correct. And that is the very first problem we should discuss. So yeah, if you do a quick search, people sitting around a table, looking at a dice. There's some other stuff popping up here too. But yes, the classic, like the board with the trifold board in front of people, like that's like classic, like the dungeon master sitting at the head of the table, all that stuff. The little figures and the dice, like a picture like that works really well.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I noticed, is that, wow, these don't really feel like Dungeons and Dragons videos. They are. I did watch one, and it is. The other thing is that we're missing the value for a Dungeons and Dragons player in any particular video. So if I were to scroll by, like, you need to respect in the middle there, you need to respect monsters in D&D. Here's why. What version of D&D are you talking about? Is there a particular situation that you could have like put in? Because I see like a funny picture of like a squid on top of a person. It's kind of back there. It'd be easy to miss. And it doesn't really tell me like any tips about how to get better at combat or speccing my character or anything like that. And I think if you wanted to appeal to an audience that really loves this game, so 80% inspiration, 20% information. So even inspiration, I'm missing that too, and I don't mean to be insulting. I've very lightly played this game. I'm very, very casual, so a lot of this can go over my head. But inspiration to play the game, or are you just kind of telling stories from the lore? Like, what do you mean by inspiration? So and I'm just talking on a thumbnail and title level, and just per video. I just sense that all of these, not all of them, but a lot of the titles and thumbnails just feel vague to me. And that's the problem when people are finding your channel for the first time. It's just not clear what they're going to get.
What do you think, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, I love the idea behind it. I have a friend that's a big D&D fan. I'm unsure if the thumbnails really give me that impression that it has a lot to do with D&D. It would be easy to, as you're swiping through other D&D content, probably completely miss
Yeah.
Unless you know this person. So I understand he's put himself front and center, but if you're not known as a D&D kind of expert, then you're missing out on opportunities that I think other people are taking advantage of. So yeah, I see in these other the top two, like at least there's something interesting in the background. So that top popular, I don't know what the very first one, I don't know if that's a person who people know about or whatever, but like the second one there, obviously there's like a monster in the background, there's something going on. So you can kind of tell, but these more recent ones could literally, if you didn't read the title and stuff, they could be about anything. Very generic thumbnails. So I would wonder if there's just a better way to bring forward that this is D&D, whether it means showing like people sitting around a table or something. I don't know. It just, I would look at other D&D channels and see kind of what they're doing. And this is one of the times where I'm thinking you for a while now, you bring yourself kind of out of the thumbnail because you're not really important. And not to say that like people don't love you in your life. I'm sure someone does. But what I'm saying is for people who don't know who you are, they don't care who you are. They want to know what they're going to get from the video. And until they fall in love with you and want all of your content, you're actually kind of potentially missing out on views and clicks.
Yeah, I think we're all stuck on the thumbnails a little bit, are they? What I want to say is that the thumbnails fundamentally are actually pretty sound in that, it's a good close-up image of the creator, and they have an expression in each of the thumbnails. They're relatively simplistic and the colors contrast relatively well, but it feels like the priority of the objects on the thumbnails is all backwards because it's the creator, I think, is a priority. Then this background, which is so striking, it's so distracting that the very last thing you look at on the thumbnail is presumably the character from Dungeons and Dragons, which is why I think we're losing an excitement or an instinctive understanding of what the video is about. So I agree with you, Travis, in the terms of maybe the creator needs to be less of a priority. They could still be in the thumbnail, but not front and center. I think they just have to accept that this background, as cool as the background is itself, it's too distracting for me because it almost, by design, it focuses your eyes on the person.
Yes,
by the centric the circles, and so we're just not looking at the character at all. And some of these, if I just see that, how strongly does that represent Dungeons and Dragons? What about this one as well? I mean, I don't know. I'm not into it at all. But this one, I wouldn't tell if this was a video about Rome Total War, video game, or the history of battles in AD 25. It's not mentioned. Dungeons and Dragons isn't mentioned in the title as well. So,
well, not only that, but none of the videos seem to feature the. So like 5e is like a version of Dungeons and Dragons. There's Pathfinder. There's countless. None of that is in the title or the thumbnail as well. And the other point I wanted to make before we move on is I think one of the things you could do for Dungeons and Dragons players is kind of what we do in the gaming space, the video games. We help players kind of get inspired to keep playing their favorite game, and that's the whole essence behind like making a gaming video. I feel like you could be helping Dungeons and Dragons players get excited to play this weekend with their friends. You could be helping people become better dungeon masters. Like that's something that's very difficult to do, like actually controlling the game, creating the story, creating the world that your friends are going to be sitting there exploring. There's probably a lot of value you could be giving, but if that's not where you want to go, at the very least, I'd be focused on like very specific lore and very specific stories within a very specific version of D&D. Because all of that's kind of missing here. And so you're missing out on like a lot of searchability.
Okay, now we've got through all of the criticism. I just want to celebrate this creator's enthusiasm and passion for their content. They're producing a 5-minute plus video every single day, it looks like here.
That's more than I can do.
With thoughts in the editing. We just looked at it quickly there. Maybe they're talking in front of camera, so they probably have to refilm takes or possibly script it. I also saw that they were bringing up a lot of stuff on screen, B-roll, things zooming in. Those are all brilliant things. And so I want to applaud you on that. It looks as if right now the barrier to entry to your content is the thumbnails, which
Likely, yeah.
need an overhaul. The thumbnails, as I said, the thumbnails inherently are solid, but the messaging just isn't strong enough there at the moment. So we do wish you all the best at D&D Daily, and we hope you take this feedback on board, and just spend. I'm gonna spend. I mean, what I could say is it just drop one day's video and spend that entire day thinking up of some new thumbnail concepts.
Yep.
Because I think that's going to have such a huge positive impact on everything that you make after you redesign your thumbnails, as opposed to just making another thumbnail, making another video, because you're making one a day, which is incredible.
You can also still be D&D Daily and take like the weekend off, for example.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if
D&D Weekly.
if you need the permission, I'm just saying, like, D&D Daily is a catchy name, but it's a big commitment. You know, try to just make sure that you're giving yourself time to not only improve your content, but just like live your life. You know, that I have to imagine a 5 to 6 minute video every single day is so much of your time.
Yeah,
So much of your free time. So, you know, just know that even if you're 5 days a week, that's still technically daily because it's business days. So, you know, if anyone wants to argue with that, just tell them go away.
And you can have public holidays off as well.
Yes, we'll give you that too. We'll give you that too.
All right, let's move on to the next channel that we're going to audit, and they call themselves SQUIDUU. Travis, I'll let you kick off on this one. Just first impressions.
I've read the entire YouTube Terms of Service challenge. Wow. I would never do that. That's a heck of a challenge. Interesting. So I like that they're trying to do some different kind of Mr. Beast-ish type things. Thumbnails are not too bad. They're certainly better than a lot of stuff we've looked at. Let's see. I solved the 100 Rubik's Cubes in a row. I built the largest in Minecraft. Decimal spot. He's trying all types of stuff. That's cool. I mean, I like the idea. Challenge stuff looks like they came from doing some more video game-ish type stuff. So there's a pivot recently from like video games to more Mr. Beast-ish type thing. And I guess my question is, why is it something that you're more interested in now? You know, what made you think that? You know, what's the research behind this? But it's interesting. Like, there's some interesting things going on here that I've never seen a solve 100 Rubik's Cubes in a row. Like, we've seen the Rubik's Cube channels, but I've never seen 100 in a row. I think some of the things with this is, you got to be kind of, there's one of two things that'll happen. One of three things that'll happen. One, nothing. Two, some of these videos will take off and others won't. Or three, if you have a really good personality, then people will be excited to see your next video. And that last one's very difficult. It's actually really difficult because you have to have good editing, because maybe your personality is great, but maybe you have a lot of slow moments and you don't even know to edit those moments out or something. Or maybe your personality just needs to be edited in a way so that it seems more interesting than it actually is. So that third one is not one you can always rely on. Some people just have it and some people just don't. What's most likely to happen is every once in a while one will take off and the other ones won't, because people will find an interesting subject but then look at the rest of the videos and not be interested in those topics because they're not related in any way. You'll see every once in a while someone who puts together, like Mike Shake, I've talked about before, his subjects are completely all over the place, but he himself is kind of the niche. We've talked about that before with Leela. Like, sometimes you have a person with a personality that is the niche, and they're there for you specifically. I like, challenges like this. Like, I'm kind of into it. But it is one of those things where if you find something take off, then you have to look at it from the standpoint of, do you want to do more content like that? For example, if you read the entire Terms of Service and that thing takes off, are you going to read the entire dictionary? You're going to read the entire recipe book from Oprah? Like, are you going to do that sort of stuff? Or are you just hoping that they all take off? And the chances of that happening are much less likely. But I like that they're trying, and I like that they're doing things that are different and kind of exciting.
I going back to what I said earlier about Ryan Trahan, I would definitely watch our video on Monday. As long as Rob and I are good little content creators, we'll have a video out for you specifically on Monday, because we're going to be looking at Ryan Trahan's channel. If you go back to his oldest videos, you'll notice some similarities between his channel and this one, because it was just him trying stuff. And things took off when he decided to do stuff with a penny. That was that was what he decided to do. And so that's what we're going to be talking about on Monday. I think this is one of those channels where you look at it and you look at what we're looking at now is their earliest stuff. If we were to see this channel a year from now, after they discover whatever their version of that is, like, this is like the quintessential YouTube, entertainment challenge journey. I don't know what you would call this genre, but it's creators who kind of put themselves in situations, for views.
The reset is here, Dan. I think 2 months ago, this was the first video of their new non-gaming world challenges content.
I would stick to it. I think if you are at all feeling discouraged at this point and you've kind of just gotten started, I hope you're not. I would stick to it and keep trying different things. The trick here is approachability. The reason the Ryan Trahan stuff worked, in my opinion, is because even if you don't live in the States, everyone knows what a penny is, and everyone knows how accessible a penny is, and everyone knows that they're just stuffed under your couch cushions. Like that's what he identified, and that's what he started to do. So I'm going to turn a penny into $1,000. That was like where it really started to take off for him. I'm not saying you do that. I'm saying find your version of that. Like, what's an approachable thing that everybody takes for granted, and how can you make that into something exciting? That's just one direction you can kind of go with this.
Can we look real quick? I just want to see what the first 30 seconds of that Mr. Beast video is.
So this is interesting because you've just talked, Dan, about accessibility and being approachable content. I don't know if you've noticed this yet. So I will play one of her videos, Travis, and
I think I noticed what you're going to say.
All right. Okay.
Je vais jouer le Mr. Beast sonde au sommet d'une montagne.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured because I told him moi a couple times.
Mr. Beast est un YouTuber de 96 millions d'abonnés. C'est pour ça que c'est cool de mettre son nom.
So
stop it there. 10 seconds in. Incredible editing.
Yeah.
Wow.
The editing's great, and it's exactly in line with what you would expect if you see this.
Yep.
But now we got to talk about that your titles and stuff are in English, and the show and the videos are not.
Yep.
So hopefully YouTube sends it to the right people, but the people who speak, what is this, French? Or
yes, I think it's French.
If it's French, are strong French speakers, how many of them would read in English and want to watch a video that they think might be in English unless they are fluent, and then you switch them back to French? Like, to me, that would be too much of a, and I could be wrong. I mean, people outside of America are much smarter than a lot of us Americans as far as having more than one language. But to me, there seems to be a disconnect between a lot of English titles and then just straight French.
Yeah. Now, whether this is YouTube automatically doing a translation for the benefit of us who've set our language to English, or this creator has manually gone in there and done that, that's something that we don't know. But I agree, Travis, in that we're going to click on this and say, oh, this is in French. Unfortunately, it's no good for us. So you really do have to make sure that you're appealing, you're making the content, well, you're making sure that YouTube finds the right audience for your content. And having these translations may be misleading the recommendation system to a certain extent, if that is the case.
Can you scroll down a little? I just want to see if there's comments.
The start was good, though.
Okay, so we're getting French comments.
All French, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hard to say. I'd be interested to know what their analytics say, but I like how the edits are pretty quick and pretty. I mean, it's very Mr. Beast-ish.
For a channel that's only got a couple of hundred subscribers.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's awesome stuff. Also, just side note, let's just go.
Milady.
Okay, that's good stuff. Right, let's move on to the next channel that we're going to audit here. And another way to get a channel audit is through the weird and wonderful medium of Twitter. And I asked you folks, in 5 words, tell us why you should be audited on the channel audits. And the best answer would get a audit. Some of the submissions were excellent, like 2,000 subs in 2 months, random and interesting video dailies. This person obviously didn't read the brief because I'm not reading that. So over 5. I do audio descriptions often. We love what we do. This one's deep, man, deep. I am more than analytics.
Oh, that's so good.
Good. This one borrowed a phrase that I often use, getting more views and subscribers. I think I should have a t-shirt for that. I need help, please. I don't know if an emoji really counts, to be honest. Magic, surprise, value, exploration, sharing. And there are dozens of submissions. The winner, though, was because they've tied it in with vidIQ. Keep my momentum going strong. It is Seth Cormier. Hope I spelled your name right. Look at that. Views are up 300% over the last
Wow.
7 days, which is incredible. So let's audit their channel. I kind of wish we had Jeff here for this one because it is all about audio tech, Mr. Audio Feedback. But since Travis, in a former life, was a tech YouTuber, we'll get your thoughts first on this one.
Yeah, it's interesting. So there are microphones, headphones, earbuds, that sort of thing. So all the audio stuff, and then a lot of shorts, which is interesting. I'm really curious what Jeff would think about the shorts in this particular niche. I love some of these thumbnails down here with the text and the product shot. I think that would work in the tech niche pretty well. Best one active under 60. So some of these. Okay, so here's the thing. Active noise canceling phones under $60. That video over time will do well. Unless the retention isn't good, I'll tell you right now from my experience, that video will do well. It's just going to take time. All these videos are going to take time. The thumbnail is good, the title is good, and the topic about being under $60 for ANC is good. It will do well, assuming the retention is good. And I love the attention to audio specifically, which is great. And they've put in a lot of content for the last month and change, like just filling up with content. I mean, this is all, it's a tremendous amount of content. So the smart thing about this is that if he can continue to put out content, even not as much as he's doing right now, but maybe just something consistent, then what you'll find happen, again, assuming that the retention is good and stuff and his production is good, that over time it'll kind of do this and then it'll go up and then it'll just keep going up. I've seen this tons of times because some of this stuff is going to be evergreen. Some of it won't be, but YouTube will start finding people that'll watch one video review of something. And as long as you have more products in that particular lineup, we'll watch other reviews about it. That's just the way a lot of tech viewers work. So this is a channel that will probably do well over time. I would love to come back in 6 to 8 months to this channel and really take a look. Because I feel like, again, assuming that their retention is good and their videos are capturing the audience attention, that this channel will do very well. The one thing I will say, definitely watch a channel like Jeff's and understand that he puts in so much time to his reviews. So make sure that you are covering a lot of the same parts, especially when it comes to earbuds and stuff that Jeff does.
For a new pair.
Sorry, I'll just.
No, that's all right.
Don't ask me why. So I came across the brand Tozo. Tozo has 2 different models that are really popular. They came across the Tozo T6.
Is he recording off a webcam there? That's what looked like the quality is a bit.
I would say
that's a quality expected.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. You started something with engagement. Yeah. Maybe a little bit too much of without the product shot in.
Yeah. I'm thinking that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so for product reviews, just one thing that you should always keep in mind is people are there typically to see the product until you become kind of a personality that they appreciate. You need to bring the product shots in a lot quicker. Bring up a Jeff review real quick. And let's just look at the first 20 seconds of his. Yeah. And this is from someone who's known in the industry now, and really has a following that will buy whatever he says. So just find something that's not streamed. That's streamed, so you don't want to count that. Whoops. But even that, right away, that was from a live stream. So that's a live stream as well.
Just click on the latest video.
You just click on videos. Rob.
That's getting really annoyed with me.
Boom. See, first shot. There you go. So everything. The first shot is the product. Boom. Within just a couple seconds, you're already looking at the product. This is a big deal. People are coming here to find out more about the product. You can show them your personality within the review. You got to start off with what they came for. Mm-hmm. If your first 30-second is dipping in the retention, this is why. You look at someone who has been around for a while like Jeff, and you can learn a lot. The guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So I would take a look at Jeff's channel and really, really dive in. But good stuff overall.
I want to ask you this question again. What do you think to the thumbnails? Like instinctively, I said, oh, these are good. These are very different. And then when I look at them a little bit more, I'm thinking, is the product getting lost in the text a little too much?
I feel that way.
Sometimes, yeah, the product needs to be a lot bigger in some of these. So you look at these headphones; these are pretty big. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so there is a little bit of clashing there. So the color, you need to have something that's going to allow it to pop if you're going to do that. I like what they're going for. It's
Sure,
like
I do. Yeah,
you're right. There's something that's not keeping it separated enough. I'm not sure what they would do to fix that.
that you were talking just 10 minutes ago, Travis, about being a little left of center and having your thumbnails kind of have that tech, the vibe of the topic, but a little bit different. And I feel as if these are a good example, but I don't know. The text is maybe just too dominant, and because there's not enough separation between a product and the text, then it is losing a little. But that was just a personal opinion. I don't know if you.
I mean, you should play around with it. Again, look at Jeff's thumbnails and see what he's done. His are very simple. From the outside looking, they look very simple. He does take time on them, but the end result is a very simple and clean look. And I don't think there's anything wrong with these. I just think that you should play around with the different styles, because you'd be surprised what gets clicked. Sometimes not great stuff.
Dan, I'll give the floor to you for a minute if you have anything else, or we'll move on to the next channel.
No, I think we can move on.
Okie dokie. Guess what, folks? We have, if I can find the right button, another vidIQ Max member, this time with a rotating QB thing. And we are going to look this time at Relatively Rich Life, who I'm told by Travis they joined very recently, and just like, whoa, lo and behold, they're getting a channel audit. So that's another.
Yeah, I mean, this is a person. 100%. This is a person that came in the Discord this morning, was like, hey, I'm new here, and look what they get same day. I mean, that's not always going to be the case, but it literally happened. This person came to Discord and said, I'm new here, can't wait to learn everything, and now here they are on the live stream.
So welcome to vidIQ Max. Let's rip this channel apart. Oh, that text on the thumbnails is horrible. Dan, what are your first impressions?
I agree on the text on the thumbnail. It's a strange color choice. It's over someone's shirt. It's hard to read. And it matches the title as well. So it's a bit of wasted real estate there. When you're going to use text, 1 to 3 words, I would say max, and try to make them a little bit more impactful, a little bit different than what you got going on in the title. So I'm guessing, RV life, RV cooking, parking an RV on the ferry. So kind of like a van life channel, except RV life. So what I would be doing is I'd be looking up RV life channels, because these are also very popular. And we already see a dramatic difference in the thumbnails, the titles, the whole pitch of these videos.
Is that an RV?
This middle one here?
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
See, that's why you click on it.
Is
the
it?
interior is like super, like it looks like a house.
It says tiny house tours. That's a tiny house. No. Wait,
my
what?
Goodness. Holy smokes.
Well, alrighty then.
All right. Let's not get too distracted. Dan, you were saying.
I just wanted to look at the different titles and thumbnails. When people like me look at RV life channels, that's exactly the kind of stuff I click on, because I want to see the cool stuff that's inside these things. I'm not ever going to buy an RV. I'm not an outdoors person. So like none of that appeals to me. So I get that you need to have content about something. So the tips and tricks for RV owners are totally appropriate. I wouldn't not do them. I would expect less views on them, though, because layman's like me aren't really going to watch that. I want to see kind of the adventures you go on. I want to see the cool stuff that you have in your RV, and I want tours. I want all that stuff. 14 things we love about our Lance travel trailer.
Isn't it interesting how, like, back here, they looked as if we're putting a lot more time into their thumbnails. Maybe they had somebody making the thumbnails for them. I don't know if the view counts are better just because over time they're going to naturally, get 1 or 2 views a day, which is bringing them up to, just over 1,000, a few hundred. But these thumbnails here, as somewhat chaotic as they are far better than what we're currently seeing.
Yeah.
So whether you need to just, take it as an expense to get somebody to make your thumbnails, I think that's what you need to do, because looking at all of these thumbnails, they all feel very much taking a freeze frame from one of your videos and then just slapping some text over it.
Do we regret selling the Lance 2185? Now I do think for a search term that's good, but in terms of recommended, I would have said, do
What
we
is
regret
it?
selling our RV? Like, I guess that's the brand name, right? That's the type of RV it was.
Okay.
So search wise, yeah, but that'd be good for like the description and the tags. I would have made the title, "We regret selling our RV." Why we regret it.
The thumbnail should be the Lance 2185 and maybe like a ridiculous price next to it, like you sold it for 400 bucks or something.
Yep.
And one of these like with a disaster first, maybe.
It's super simple. That kind of concept for a thumbnail is just like super simple. And when we say simple, we mean like for viewers to look at and then interpret in real time. They see the thumbnail, they see the sold, they see the price, and they see you upset in front of the RV. Like all of that stuff is just like you can interpret that while you're just scrolling through YouTube immediately.
Now, having said that, what a cool montage intro.
Yeah.
Very dramatic, very special. Like that's what we want to see.
Fantastic.
So, into the content, brilliant. Okay, good stuff. But what did I had to click on this thumbnail to get into it?
Click on another video randomly. Let's see what their intros on those are like too. Like, did we get lucky on that one? Or are they all pretty cool?
Now hang on. We have to rewind here a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It works once, but only once.
I'd be doing something like this for every video featuring that RV, like take your drone and really fly around that for every single video. If that's just your branded intro,
that's what it is.
It's gonna for returning viewers, it's gonna be a retention killer. People are gonna be at least skipping it, to a newer viewer who doesn't quite get it yet, they might feel like they clicked on the same video. I already saw the one about this RV, and they might click away. So, keep all this in mind. While that's a very cool montage, but if you're going to open like that, I would do it differently.
The expectation there was set to me like, oh, we're going to have these little cool montages throughout the 30 minutes of the video.
Yes.
And that probably wasn't the case, unfortunately. Now, again, having said all of this, we've talked a lot about the thumbnails, which are probably doing the channel a disservice. View counts seem to be relatively strong. You're getting thousands of views on some of these videos. Like, despite, I would say, a relatively poor thumbnail here, to get 2,500 views, matching the subscriber count, that's pretty good.
And I would question, okay, well, why did that one do so well?
Yeah.
And then I would immediately try to change the thumbnail, because if it got that many views with a thumbnail like that, my guess is it would get a lot more if you had a really spicy thumbnail there that was really interesting.
Show
but then
RV.
Also the topic. Yeah, show your
I mean, it's touring a very specific RV. Show the RV.
Well, real quick, click play on that one. I'm curious, like what's in that video?
Sorry?
The one that's 2,000 views.
Yeah, the one just look at
11 days ago. Yeah.
We see the RV after this intro montage. So a picture of this, and then it said in the thumbnail, "This is a mistake." So I would have just taken the word "mistake" with like an arrow pointing at the RV.
I'm being a little sexist. Yeah, and blanket pillow storage down in there. Yeah, really deep. That's a lot. Yeah, we're able to fit like all of these. I like the cool lanterns too.
RVs are just incredible these days.
Yeah,
a lot like houses.
Really I had no idea. Look at that.
In the summertime, you might want a cool seat. You know what I mean?
And you can drive that somewhere. Goodness.
You tow it, but I would not want to tow a fifth wheel. Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
Okay, so relatively rich life. We feel as if you've got a good channel, well-established target audience. Focus is certainly there. Publishing a consistent amount of content. Just these thumbnails. We want to see thumbnails that are like, I guess, this, but then taking them on from the next step, because we'd say these are a little cluttered and they're a bit busy, but they look as if they're better than what you currently have.
As a vidIQ Max member now, you have access to the private Discord. If you start playing with your thumbnails, put them in that Discord in the feedback channel and see, see what other people have to say about them. Let people give their thoughts.
There's been a lot of thumbnail feedback in the feedback channel. We've seen a lot of improvements in thumbnails just from people posting in there. It's been really amazing. So definitely take advantage of that. I know that you're new to the program.
Remember, vidIQ Max, now's your opportunity. Link in the description.
Real
Go
quick,
for
I
it.
want to just acknowledge Journey, who's had her 6-month half anniversary with vidIQ Max. Today's that day. Journey, we appreciate you greatly. If you come into vidIQ Max, you will meet Journey, who is answering questions all the time. She's been with vidIQ Max since the very first day. We absolutely adore her. She's amazing and gives incredible advice. And just like everyone else that's in vidIQ Max and in the Discord, we're here to help each other. And I just wanted to acknowledge Journey for being such an incredible member of vidIQ Max.
We, I think, did a video audit, Dan, on her channel a couple of weeks ago, from what I remember.
Yeah.
And she's almost like the unofficial fourth coach.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's pretty awesome.
The amount of time she responds, it's like she probably writes an essay's worth of responses every single day to stuff, which is incredible.
100%.
All right, I'm trying to do a little bit of cleanup of the channels that we've audited. So let me just make sure that I've covered all of the ones that we've done, because I think we have one more. No, that was just raiding Henry D. Baker's live stream.
Stop doing that.
And so I think it was this one, Morgan Lee. Dan, I think this was your pre-selected one, was it?
No, it was not. The D&D one was, but we could talk about it.
Was this Travis's or was it mine? I can't remember now.
I think Travis's was yours. Do we lose Travis?
No, Travis is here.
I'm here. I'm doing something.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. Well, let's audit Travis's pre-selected channel, shall we?
Okay, I'm here. All right. The reason I was clipping what I just said to share in the Discord with Journey because she's
I see.
All right. Okay. So I chose this channel because I thought it was interesting that they did a bunch of shorts and they had this kind of first of all, I like the 90s childhood thing, so I immediately was like kind of interested in this, like what is that? But I found that this is I think it's a shop with me kind of channel and clean with me and that sort of thing. But they had a lot of shorts, and I don't remember if that's something that we're seeing in this particular niche. It's just I haven't dealt with a channel that does the shop with me and sort of thing in a little bit. And I mean, she's really heavily leaning on shorts. And if you look at what's interesting is a lot of them are Walmart, but if you look recently, this last week, one of them started taking off a bit, 2K in less than 24 hours. So I'm wondering if YouTube shorts are starting to kind of figure out, that she's doing a lot of, or maybe it's the Jojo Siwa, which of course is popular on YouTube. Maybe that has something to do with it as well. But sometimes shorts take a while to catch on. Trying something new, who's also been a Max member before, and we've had on here before, recently started finally getting success after multiple years of putting out incredible content. Their shorts are starting to take off, and they did a 2 million view month just recently, and it's nice. I'm so happy for them. But it took a long time and a lot of shorts and just hitting the nail time and time again before it actually picked up. But it looks like, if you notice here, there's a couple of these, and the Jojo Siwa in 9 days was 1.4 thousand. So it's almost like they're just getting into something, and something's starting to connect. Trying to figure out what that will be for their channel moving forward is going to be something that they'll, obviously Walmart is a tie into everything they do. But then the question is, how do you make it interesting for people outside of just Walmart? Yeah, unsure at the moment.
I was thinking here that the shorts, if anything, are just lacking a little bit of detail and context, like Walmart clearance shirts. Wouldn't it be better to say Walmart clearance shirts under $5, or
the type of shirts, like Pokemon shirts on clearance? Exactly,
yeah. Disney characters, Walmart wallets. There's two here with exactly the same title. One got 173 views, one got 4 views, which is, I'm sure is infuriating from the creator's point of view. Often we talk about people need to be less complicated and less complex and less detailed. I think this creator just needs to add just a tiny bit of detail and context to each title. And then when I did watch one of these shorts, I'll mute it to avoid copyright, because there's no voiceover. It is literally just a bit of music, and they're showing different products. For me, I would probably be adding the price onto all of these in the top right-hand corner or something. Requires a bit more editing, but that provides so much more value to the viewer, I think. Maybe you want to put some extra text like really cute or great for, great for outdoors, great for a barbecue, etc., etc. Just to add a bit more flair, perhaps, to each of these. But I mean, they're relatively simple and they do a very simple job. But as you say, Travis, I think if they continue to hit that same target audience, YouTube is slowly figuring out who they should be serving these shorts up to.
To try to, you know, look into some of the best practices for shorts as well. You want to be using like trending music if you're not already. If on what YouTube offers basically in their editor, so they tell you what songs are trending, so you can get in there and use that. There might be times where commentary is helpful. You know, we're just kind of imagine scrolling through these without any sound at all. What, like Rob, you said the prices, like that'd be perfect, because if I'm scrolling through these and then sunglasses with different price tags on them,
it's just music on all of them.
Yeah, if that started appearing, I would understand that you're trying to tell me that I can buy these. You know, maybe some text that stays static on the screen that, you know, says new at Walmart or something like that, or this whatever store, Target, whatever store you're at. So that would give people some context. They'd be able to go, oh, got it. This channel is showing me products that I can get and how much they cost. But with just music and you holding products in a store, there's like a lot less value there, right? For the person who's finding this in the wild, because they're like, okay, sunglasses, what about them? I don't even know where I can get those. So definitely like try to add some bits in there to help people make that connection.
Seeing if there's any chance we can find anything on our search, but this is where it's impossible to find any short. Oh, hang on. So are there some shorts here?
See, Walmart clearance $1. Imagine
let's
seeing
look at
that
this
without finding it like we did. You're scrolling through shorts, right? You're swiping, and then this pops up.
And also, if you add a bit of text on, I know thumbnails aren't as important, but if you have some consistent text on there, it may help a little bit.
Yes.
Let's just have a quick look at this one.
So obviously, I have a bunch of socks in my cart. I've been watching this display for probably a couple months now. I saw, like I said, a couple months ago, these socks, this brand.
Okay, I can't get too interested in $1 socks, but you know, that's a different approach to the hauls.
Yeah. But the value is clear. As soon as you swipe into that short, you see, oh, there's like this clearance that's going on at this Walmart right now, because it says Walmart, it says a price.
How I think that they could combine this short style with the one that Creator does is they have some music in the background, and then they say, hey, I found we found $1 clearance socks at Walmart. You can get blue, you can get white, you can get striped, you can get blah, 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 blah. It's very quick, very punchy.
Yeah.
So it's not as slow as what that the other video was, where she was talking about, I've been waiting 3 months for these. It's like, no, just, you know, all you need is like a quick couple of sentences. Keep it as quick and snappy as what you're creating. And I think that's going to add just a little more value and entertainment to the viewer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. I think that's all of our pre-selected ones. So you know what's coming next? It's this. I had to do it myself because Jeff isn't here. I'm trying to find a button on my soundboard without looking at it. Yeah, I managed to do it. Multitasking, eh? So what happens next is that you've all been filling out this form. As you can see, 350 responses. Nearly 350 responses. 700 channel submissions in total. And we are going to audit some of your channels right now. Also, by the way, I saw people writing in #review in the chat earlier on, because some people thought that we'd do the giveaway thing. That doesn't work until we put in the hashtag in our giveaway. And now that you've put in #review, we'll change it to something else just to annoy you all.
Yeah.
So do bear that in mind. It doesn't work until we tell you to do it. With all of that being said, let's actually pick out a number. That is number 60. And so what we do at this point is we come across channels that we've never had any insight into before, no first impressions. We're looking at it for the first time, just like you viewers. And it is called Star Strike. And, you know, here's a really good thing about this channel, right? Even though I'm probably not interested in this topic, instinctively and immediately, I know what this topic is about, so I know whether I'm in the right place. And it is My Little Pony reviews and whatnot. And so that's brilliant. I think that's brilliant from a target audience point of view. So in terms of first impressions, really encouraged.
This is what we've been like going on about, I feel like, for so many channels today. The title and the thumbnail being super, super clear. The text in the thumbnail nice and big and easy to read, and it's complimenting. Like, I love MLP is teaching selfishness, big problem, arrow pointing, like everything they're doing. This is like, I feel like so many times today we've been trying to convey like this message. So really well done.
My gosh, these thumbnails are crazy good. I'm curious, real quick, I want to see what the first couple seconds of a video are like.
So you're into this mode now, Travis, where you think, yep, the thumbnail and title have got me. Now I want to see if that quality is taken into the video hook. Yeah, all right.
I'm going to guess it is because of the views, but let's see.
The most latest one.
All right, guys. The boss will be here.
Wow.
Check on the new Make Your Mark special. Released in 24 hours and are crunchy for time. So let's try to impress him, okay? Oh, hello, sir. How are you today? I have a meeting in 1 hour. Let's make this quick. Of course, of course.
So Sunday Sillies, is that one of the show formats I've got? It looks like it, yeah. We do this Sunday Silly thing every week.
Is this their first channel, or have they been doing this for a long time? Because it feels like it's not their first channel. You know, like,
not sure. Let's
friends of mine. Wait, what did that say? There was another thing there. What was that channel?
So we do some Minecraft stuff to begin with,
but then switched real hard from Minecraft to this.
Yeah.
Also fun compass my friend. Okay. No. So I like when I see a channel like this, I go, oh, you've been doing this for a while, huh? But maybe not. I mean, maybe they just figured it out over time. And you look at the views to subscriber, especially in the last month and a half, where it looks like it's really taking off. There's one with 100,000 views in the last couple of weeks. It looks like scroll up just a little bit down one. Oh yeah, there it is from 2 months ago. They're really in the last two and a half months really starting to take off. If you go to their stats,
yeah,
we're going to see.
Solid,
yeah,
the last 6 months.
Yeah, things are starting to cook on this channel. There was a big spike at some point not too long ago. But yeah, I mean, this channel is just going to keep going. Just keep killing it. You're absolutely doing great. I guess the question is, in the last 28 days, go back to stats for the last 30 days. I'm curious for views and subscribers. So 300,000 with about 2,400 views. That's only 67,000 views in the last 30 days. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. 520 subscribers. It's about right-ish. Only 5 views. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and a channel this size is pretty good. I think what you're going to see is this channel is just going to continue to go. And man, as these things start to get momentum, the thumbnail style is just fantastic. Really good stuff.
This is, one of those cases too, where this person is like a huge fan of this IP. You know, that's part of this. You know, a lot of people come to us and say, what can I do to get, like, what's going to get a lot of views? Like, especially gaming channels, what game can I play to get a lot of views? And that's only like one piece of it, one little piece of it. Really what it comes down to is what are you passionate about? What's something that you love to play? What's something that you love to watch? You know, if you really love the thing that you're making a channel about, this is what you get. You know, that's what's kind of like shining here.
I'm wondering why this row of 3 videos was quite successful for the channel, all 10K plus. And then they've kind of settled into this around about 3,000 to 6,000 views on average per video.
Could it be between seasons of like a TV show?
Yeah, could be. I mean, but we have one here that's just like broken through with over 10,000 views. Because I don't know the topic well enough. You know, I don't know how much of a difference there is between the topics and the characters that they're covering, and whether certain characters do resonate more with the audience or certain show formats. Like, for example, is this Sunday Sillies, as fun as it might be to create, could it be that it's holding you back versus the ones that just talk strictly about the character, you know, rather than their own ideas and creativity, as opposed to the opinions of the universe itself? But I guess I'm just throwing ideas up into the air to see why some videos like 5x in terms of performance, or at least 2 or 3x in terms of performance. The run-of-the-mill video gets about 3,000 views plus, whereas like 1 in every 10 videos is getting 10,000 plus. And there's certainly probably data in your channel to help you answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic thumbnails, really good thumbnails. And, we're talking about where your eye should be drawn to. And it's always to a big emotional face and character, and then just big, bright, easy to read text. And the text is usually no more than 4 words. And they do that thing where they emphasize certain words by either adding a stroke or changing the color of it, underlining it. All very good thumbnail strategies. So well done. Well done. And it's nice to just randomly pick out a channel from the claw that is performing so well. The next one we're going to look at is a gaming channel. This is channel 155 from our list. And am I right in thinking that so far we haven't audited a single Minecraft channel? On average, we audit like about 4.
Yeah, right.
We've only just gotten to the claw, though.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm seeing Mario. I'm seeing shorts. I'm seeing titles that don't entice me as first impressions.
Yeah. I think this, for the way you're titling your long form videos and your shorts, I feel like shorts is kind of where you might want to be, because these make the short titles work. Like the problem with shortcuts, I know it has no views, but it's Mario Kart, and I just think that's like a clear title, like something's gonna go wrong.
Ooh, the star. I'm just gonna pop it right here. Try to get a. Nah, I couldn't cut her in position because people are already.
So that's, I guess, clips from maybe a let's play, a live stream.
Yeah,
just cut down.
If we were doing video reviews, which we'll be doing tomorrow, I would be saying the audio quality isn't great. The screen capture didn't look great. The lack of any sound at all, other than the talking in the background, just that it was very eerie. I think your shorts will travel a lot farther if you up that production quality. So that's the shorts. The long form content, though, like Mario Kart 8 DLC, like what? Okay, what do you want to say about it? Like, why should I watch that video? Because I already saw the trailer for the booster pack, or booster, whatever they're calling it. So what is this? How is this video different than the one I've already seen? That's the question you need to answer for every single video you post is, why should someone watch this? Looks like a very hard pivot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Pivoted from wrestling, pivoted from Lego to roller coasters. There's been quite a few pivots, actually. Rocket League.
Yeah.
Plants vs. Zombies.
So been at this a long time, taking games they're enjoying kind of in the moment and putting them on their gaming channel. This is a good way to kind of spin your wheels, I think, for a really long time. It's time to commit really hard to a game / type of game that you really love making content in.
So I think all of them are all muted. Is that potentially because we're worried about
Nintendo and
their very litigious going after everybody's?
It's possible, but it's also possible that because they don't have a proper microphone and they're not doing proper screen capture, that the music is just too much. You know what I'll say is that if you're going to play games on a console and record them for your channel, you have to invest in a capture card. You absolutely cannot let that go. Like, that is so key, so crucial, because the channels you're competing against have made that investment.
And by the way, you can get the USB capture cards for like $15. So it's not even expensive anymore.
Yeah, they're really affordable now.
I think I'm using one right now to broadcast to you all a $25 one. GD, and I think they describe themselves as a RC channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, remote control.
Remote control channel. Okay, with some shorts. Okay, well, I mean, are they though?
That looks like our boss's dog, if I'm being honest.
Okay, there's a couple RCs upside down. There's some base stuff. Tour of my garage.
Exciting views. Look at the view counts on these.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, let's watch one of those and see.
Okay, I've got some music, and I'm going to talk over this music to prevent ourselves.
Talk over that music.
Yeah, no copyright for us. No copyright for us. But that looks
blah blah
cool.
blah blah.
Yeah, nice. All right then, good stuff. awesome. Crash,
It
boom.
could have looped there. It was that's what people want to see in shorts, like something exciting happening and some trending music. You know, that's not the only thing, but I'm just saying it helps. Like stacking.
Dan's 2 rules of shorts are something exciting happening, some cool music.
Yep. Well, I mean, spend some time on TikTok and you'll understand, you know, the big difference there.
So whether they've appreciated this or not, the channel now officially is in Granite RC Shorts channel. Given that YouTube seems to have automatically found an audience for this content and is serving it up on a very regular and healthy basis.
Yeah, it's crazy that that it's doing so well. Some of these are doing so well. And again, because it's shorts, you don't tend to have to do anything with thumbnails. And as you can see, you know, they still did well. But you see, if you're doing longer form content, you have to have thumbnails like this.
Yeah. Cool, simple thumbnail.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
I would have. The only thing that could be better is like an arrow. An arrow or circle or zooming in. Yeah. Quick aside about shorts, Rob. A friend of mine told me something really interesting.
Yep.
They opened up the YouTube app, and this has happened to them a number of times now. And shorts were automatically playing as soon as they opened the app, kind of like when you open TikTok.
Yes.
Has that been? Have you heard? Is that a thing that's happening? I've not seen that.
I read or saw that on a Creators Insider video maybe 6 months ago, where I think they were going to start testing defaulting a user's experience to automatically play shorts. Perhaps if YouTube knows it, that's what they tend to prefer.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't surprise me. I would be furious if you start doing it for me.
Yes.
What's going on, guys?
You're right there, Travis.
Yeah, I was trying to on my phone to see if it would happen on my phone, and it did not. But then again, I don't watch shorts, so I don't know if maybe if you watch shorts and then it goes, okay, this person watches a certain amount of shorts, so let's do it on theirs because they're probably not going to be as disruptive. I don't watch shorts, so it did not. It's interesting.
This person says if you watch shorts before closing the app, then that happens, which makes sense.
Makes sense.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I bring that up because, again, like we were saying before, people find shorts when they're not looking for specific ones. YouTube just keeps trying stuff on you. And that's why we keep talking about having like action happening, having trending music. Like that trending music is a good way to get you to slow down. Like I like that song. And you're more willing, whatever it is, to kind of watch for a minute and see if it's going to be something you're going to enjoy watching. So like shorts is all about the production, whereas long form videos, it's all about the title and the thumbnail, the packaging.
So looking at the history of this channel, they've clearly been interested in RCs for a long time, and they spent a considerable amount of time making content around it. I used to have one of them. I remember buying that when it first came up.
Oh yeah, I remember that too.
And then they abandoned it, presumably because they weren't making any progress. You know, they were getting 100 views or less on most of their content. Did a couple of weird random stuff, experimenting with shorts. But they've now gone back to their passion with an audience. So if this is something that you want to explore further, GD, what I would recommend you do is get a piece of paper or Google Docs or however you want to do this. Spend a day coming up with 50 stunts and cool things that you can do with this remote control car. Record them over a couple of days and then release 1 or 2 per day over the course of a month. And I'd be fascinated to know if you continue to do that for this channel, where this channel might be in a month's time with that consistent form of content. Because you release all of those videos that performed well, but you released them all 2 weeks ago and then 8 days ago, and then we haven't seen anything since.
That, and if you want a 1 million view idea, take your family car and find a way to turn it into an RC car. If you do that, that's 1 million views.
With cool music.
Yes.
Well,
don't make it a short. That sounds like a long form video. I saw like a bigger car in one of their thumbnails, and that the idea just hit me. Like, what if they could turn that thing into an RC vehicle? You know, 1 million views.
Nice.
Good luck.
Gaming channel. They call themselves Araya Clips. Array sab clips. Array sab clips. That's what
Okay.
I'm going with. Okay.
PSG. That's there's a FIFA video. It's also like
Well,
soccer.
PSG is Paris Saint-Germain. That's a football team.
Okay.
This is all to do with FIFA cards. FIFA tots, I believe I call it.
Okay. So pretty decent views on these shorts.
Good views. Yeah.
I wonder what's the content when we click into that.
Okay, that sounds like some copyrighted sound effect that's coming there as well, and some music. And
wait,
well,
like and subscribe. Quick. What happened?
That was quick.
Wait, what?
Was that just showing a comparison of two teams playing against each other? I guess they've made the text on screen so quickly that it forces people to rewatch it.
Watch it a second time. That's actually kind of tricky.
Maybe.
It's tricky, but then like at the end, do you feel satisfied after watching it? I think that's the important takeaway.
Right. What did I just watch? Why did I watch it? What are I don't know what these cards are for. I don't know what they do. So maybe this is like maybe they're all rare and impressive.
Unsure. Couldn't tell you.
There's too many calls to action too.
Broken the internet.
Like they're the 3 blocks of text asking you to do things, and I just think that's also like too much to read. Join the Discord, comment down below, like and subscribe. Like pick one thing and like trade them out for each short. Like use like and subscribe in one of them, comment whatever below in a different one. Give people a little bit less to like focus on.
Very strong view counts, though, for these FIFA tots. So definitely something to continue to focus on, and then just amend the viewer experience. Dan, is that basically what you're saying?
Yeah, but also look at the 3 top videos and how they don't look like the other videos that come after. So what was different about these, and why did you get away from them? Oh, okay, I see.
You'd have to be careful since these
they're
are
not your clips. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. But one of the first one looks like it could be gaming.
So it's a clip, but then they've put some FIFA tots imagery over the top of it.
Yeah, I see.
I'm wondering if maybe they got copyright claims on these top performing ones, and so they've stopped doing that. Perhaps.
That's very likely, I think.
Maybe. But yeah, promising stuff. And so I think what we're trying to say, I know we've gone around the houses a little bit trying to understand what this channel's about. Trying to understand the intent of the content. The intent of the content is that you clearly have YouTube serving this content up to a consistent audience all of the time. So you want to try and hone it a little bit. The content is very short and it's very, very easy to watch very quickly. But perhaps maybe adding a little more context, getting the viewer to think a bit more about the content, maybe promoting engagement with it should be your next steps.
I guess what's missing here is like personality, and a lot of people ask us, how do I get my shorts viewers to move on to my long form content? Well, if your personality shines through on your shorts and you're making stuff that's consistent in long form as well, in terms of like what you've made, will it appeal to the same audience? I think people will be giving your long form videos a chance because there's a personality behind them. But these videos, it's all about the cards. They're not making long form videos. That's probably not the problem they're having. But just as a general tip, your personality really matters.
Travis, I present to you Maxim, 15 subscribers, plenty of shorts.
A lot of mountainous type content. That's kind of cool. Great Wall of China got a lot of views. I have a couple of Great Wall of China. So then now my question immediately is this content yours?
I think so, because I think what they did describe themselves as is drone videos. So
yeah, but the thing is, these are all over the world. It's not to say people can't be going all over the world. I mean, it's totally possible for someone to go all these different places, take their drone and take that. Totally possible. But I would ask first if that's the case. If that's the case, cool. We move on to the next thing. If it's not the case, then, the normal kind of things apply where we say, be careful, blah, 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 fair use, all the things. Assuming that it's yours. So the long form content, the thumbnails are pretty good, although I think a lot of times the text is unnecessary. especially since you're basically saying where the place is in the title. I think a beautiful kind of view tells you everything you need to know. And this is going to be one of those things where it's just kind of a thing you might play just relax or something. So then I guess, do you go for the kind of angle on it, or you just want to look at something that is, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, how would you package in a way that would get in front of a lot more people? Because what is someone searching for when they're looking for mountains? Are they looking for mountain videos? Or are they looking for, I'm going to this mountain, I want to know more about it. And then once they get into search and then they start getting recommended things, what are they being recommended? Probably more informational things about the mountains. Not to say that there aren't people watching these videos. There most assuredly are. But how would you find them? What else are they looking at? Is this a meditative thing where they're just having up on the screen and they just want to work on one screen and have that in the other screen just to be relaxing? And if that's the case, then these videos should actually be longer, not shorter. So I don't know. I would be interested to see where your traffic sources are coming from and then try to make some content based on that. It's more of a Max type of a thing where we would look at that.
Very impressive drone footage, I would say.
Sure.
I think they may be based in China, just from the amount of content that I feel is about the Great Wall of China and maybe other things in that region. So does that give them a bit of maybe almost like exclusivity? Because forgive me if I'm wrong, is China in YouTube? Is YouTube in China? I don't think it is.
That's a great question. I'm not sure that it is, actually.
I should know this, being a YouTube educator, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it really is. Or at times, sometimes it is, but then other times maybe not. It's hard to know.
Any thoughts, Dan, coming from you for Maxim, or is it just a case of building up the content?
That's going to be part of it. What I would be doing, because this is probably really great content for shorts, and they are doing shorts. I would be looking at the next time you're going to a location and you're going to shoot some drone footage. Look up the location on YouTube and see what other kinds of content people have made around it, kind of feeding into what Travis was saying. You'll kind of understand the types of things that you could talk about. If you wanted to do something else with this footage, there's so many things that you could probably do, but try to get some inspiration from some other channels out there.
Independennis is the next channel we are going to look at. They have 13 subscribers, relatively new to YouTube in terms of the amount of content they've made. And just looking at the thumbnails and the titles, I'm seeing a entertainment style piece of content. They're not focusing on a particular game per se, but maybe just the culture around certain elements of gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the approach already. They're putting themselves in the thumbnail. They are really trying to make, especially their last like 2 thumbnails, I would say, some really interesting, like click-worthy thumbnails. What's really like missing the mark for me is like the titles, because if you're going to play these different games for the purposes of doing challenges, like let's say these are like trending games that you're playing and they're just one-offs. You're not really using like the name of the game in anywhere, right? Like in the title, the thumbnail. It looks like really high quality editing from what I can tell.
Yeah, putting captions on videos. I'm always impressed by that, because I still haven't found a way to do this efficiently and quickly. It takes me hours whenever I try and do it.
It's a process, especially the way they're doing them with like the little animations on them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good fundamentals here, but this truck makes me a ton of money. Like, so, okay, turbo dismount. I do see that now. It was hidden behind the timestamp. I would be trying to find a balance between search and recommended with these titles, because I think you can use turbo dismount in the title and give your videos just a little bit more searchability while also trying this recommended strategy. See, even these folks are doing the same thing. So they're saying something epic happened and then they're putting turbo dismount in the title.
It is an old game.
I'm
just going to point it out.
That's the other thing too.
All of these videos on here are from almost all of them 5+ years old.
Yes. So when you're picking games like this, you want to be picking the ones, and this is where you kind of got to like play with fire a little bit. So either you pick the ones that you see the big YouTubers kind of going for, right? Which means you're a little bit late to the party, but if you get there quick enough, you could probably get some views off of that. Or you start picking games that come out on Steam, early access, whatever, that you think look fun and you think have potential, but then you're kind of betting on those games. But the games will really drive like the success, I think, at first. The other thing I want to point out is this challenge was awful. What challenge? And I say that in particular because challenge videos are so popular right now, but you'll notice with challenge videos, people say in the title and thumbnail what they're about to do.
Was it from Dream, perhaps? A challenge
Right,
that
like
Dream set?
something that Dream did maybe, but like 100-day challenges are super, super popular right now. So you're probably explaining it here, which is great, but getting people in the door is so important.
I have to complete a mission in Motortown. The mission is I have to do deliveries, but as fast as possible. Every kilometer I travel in game.
So you completed X many deliveries in X amount of time. How can you turn that? And it's almost done right there, but how can you turn that into a really clickable title? You want to include the name of the game because I've never heard of that game in my life. So these more obscure games really need their names in the title, and you want to approach it. This challenge was awful. What? Like, no, tell me the challenge, because that sounds impressive. It sounds like you're going to do something that is going to frustrate you, and the viewer is going to understand that going into the video. Like, this is going to be fun to watch because this person's trying to do something that I think is going to be really challenging, but you're just kind of telling us, hey, a challenge in a game went bad. So really consider this next time you're putting together like a title and a thumbnail for a video.
And to cap off this channel, posting consistency. How many videos have we had in the last 4 months? 5, 6. If you can commit to one a week, one every 2 weeks, just especially from a gaming point of view, because viewers are so fickle and impatient in the gaming space. They want to be fed something almost on a daily basis. And so it's very easy for YouTube to start recommending alternative content if you're not uploading on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
In the gaming space. All right, let's pick a non-gaming channel. Let's go to 2288 and see what we find ourselves here. We have a football shorts channel. It's okay, it's American football. Do I dare click on one of these?
No, the NFL does not like when you use their stuff.
Yeah. Let's just quickly click on one and talk about it with best NFL dancers. And Drake is there, and you've got a montage of dancing. Okay, that's a top 3 dancers. Very good, very good. All right, then. So this essentially is a montage channel. I think we'll agree on that, which is going to lead to potentially in the future problems with either reused or repetitious content, whereby the channel might not be hit with copyright claims, although with it being NFL stuff, there is a potential high possibility of that. But even if it isn't, if this is not original content and it's being sourced from elsewhere, then how much has it been transformed from its original piece of content? And that's going to be a judgment for some YouTube employee, perhaps when you submit your channel for monetization, or in this case, because it's mostly shorts, somebody trying to verify the views based on a shorts payout. And I have my reservations and concerns, because ultimately you could probably get this content from a lot of different sources. I appreciate that you have taken the time to source the clips, edited them in a particular order, put a little bit of text on there, add some music. But it's not for us to decide whether or not that is transformational enough. But our opinion is, or at least my opinion is, you may hit problems in the future, because what is original about your content?
In the context of asking for an audit from us, that's where I'm hung up. Because let's just say that everything goes swimmingly for this channel.
Yeah.
You know, they get their shorts payouts and everything. Like no
Mm.
problems from the NFL. No one's mad at them, and they can
Yeah.
just keep going. Like
Right.
So I'm just kind of wondering, like, why an audit from us? Like, what's the goal behind the channel? You know, I guess just the most views. In which case, I would say more content, more montages,
Yeah,
more
more
of what you're
listicles.
already doing.
Cool dancers, hardest
Yeah.
hits, most amazing field goals, epic finishes, biggest fails. You're looking at along those lines of listicles and whatnot, rather than respect
Right.
and those titles, which I don't think work as nowhere near as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like that they've switched to a more vertical format in their recent shorts.
Yeah.
That's important. You know, the viewer experience is very important there. I guess, but yeah, that's all we can say is like continue doing what's working, continue trying things. Ultimately, though, I would be very nervous about a channel like this, especially as YouTube Shorts grows and develops and matures. It's copywritten material like this, especially from very litigious entities such as the NFL. It's gonna be really hard to like get away with posting stuff like this.
I'm just curious if do they have a description? Nope, just some hashtags.
Yeah,
just some hashtags.
There you go.
Let's draw out another channel. We're going to do a gaming channel this time. We're going to do channel 37.
So for those asking, while Rob pulls this up, the channel reviews are random in that if you filled out one of the forms below, which are linked below, we use a random number picker in the form of a claw to randomly select your channels. We do this way every week. So best of luck to you if you submit. 5lamb521 is the next channel we're looking at. It looks like, I want to say Minecraft channel, but they're playing some Lego Jurassic Park just before that.
For a 10-part series. Then back to Minecraft, then a bit of Lego, then Sonic Generations part 12. Okay, Dan, is this where we have the weekly gaming let's play intervention pep talk?
Yeah. So seems like you like the Lego games, which is great. We've seen people do this successfully. You could dedicate a whole channel to just Lego games, you know, specific ones too. You could just be the Lego Star Wars person. Once you decide on the game though, or type of game, and that's the first step, you really need to get away from this episodic me playing game episode blank, because it's been done a billion times. You know who kind of got there first were the people who got to review these games early. You know what I mean? So you need to be bringing something new and fresh to the table. Get rid of the part numbers. Don't worry about what episode you're on, because in terms of new viewers finding you at episode 6, you're more likely to turn them off from ever clicking, you know, in the first place. So what happens in the video? What's that episode 6 about? Part 16. What about part 16? Like, what happened? Who did you encounter? Did it go well? Try to put some stakes there in that title and that thumbnail. Really get people excited to watch that, instead of just hoping that somebody wants to follow you along on this 16-part journey, whatever it ends up being.
It's very simple to say this, but unfortunately it is the truth. If you continue to do what you're doing right now with the content that we see on the channel, that you have done for the last year, you will be in exactly the same place in a year's time with view counts of, 10 or less. It's time for a big decision about not only a focus of a topic in terms of maybe what game you want to play, and then the delivery of that content to the audience, which isn't centered around walkthroughs or let's plays. Because as I think, Dan, as you rightly said, and it's probably true at this point, it's been done a billion times before. I wouldn't be surprised if there are a billion let's play videos on YouTube. I could be completely wrong with that estimation, but there's probably a lot. And you're just another creator in that space who just, from the thumbnails and the titles, are not offering anything new or exciting.
Yep.
And when we do have this kind of unfortunate conversation on a near weekly basis with creators who are uploading stuff but maybe they're not taking into account the data that's been given back to them about how they may make this better. If you just want to play video games and upload them to YouTube and not worry about an audience, fine, no problem. You continue to do that and have fun doing that. But if you submitted your channel to us, we assume you want to build an audience, grow a channel, maybe turn it into a business. And right now, where you're going, unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Yep.
Let's draw out the next channel.
Real
Go
quick,
ahead.
off of that topic, should your channel focus on one specific thing in a game? For example, if I play Grand Theft Auto 5, can I make videos about cars and NPCs fighting? I would say that's stacking the deck in your favor. If you're going to have a channel where you're going to play a game, but then you're going to be the person who does a thing in that game and consistently, if you have a lot of ideas for NPCs and what'd you say, NPCs fighting cars or whatever, like if that's the content you want to make and you're constantly making that similar thing and it's resonating with people, that's a recipe for success. Like Minecraft is a great example. If you go to different Minecraft channels, you'll notice that they have a focus on not just Minecraft, but a thing in Minecraft. So that's actually like, I would say a way to min-max as like a gaming channel is to like get really specific.
I bring you Bolt LP, a presumably animation channel, content a minute or less. And when they have been able to produce content on a monthly basis, the view counts are very encouraging.
Looks like this character.
Welcome to my unboxing subscribe video. Hi, it's another unboxing video. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Here we go. Damn it, it's another box. I wonder what's... Oh, it's a pair of cool sunglasses. Yeah, baby, got cool sunglasses. I think I'm gonna like these sunglasses.
Okay. So I think there's a big dollop of YouTube irony there, and I think we liked it. It was good and sarcastic. So, kind of amateur, almost intentional animation, but then edited really sharply and really, really tightly, which was good.
Yeah, I mean, so ironically, the thumbnails, which look kind of kiddish, is actually what you're going to see, which I actually prefer. I want to know what I'm getting into. I don't want a amazing looking thumbnail and then come into a video and it's anything but. So you are getting what's on the tin, so to speak. And so I dig that. And it is kind of catchy, and you'll notice even for the ones that are like 7 seconds and stuff, they're getting some views. And the ones that are around a minute or so, they're actually getting really good views for the channel this size. So, I mean, they're on to kind of something. I think you just have to keep nailing this into the wall until something really takes off.
The sun is a deadly laser. Hey, can we go on there?
What?
The sun is a deadly laser.
That might stick in my head for the rest of my life.
So weird. You have to watch again. What about this one? I'm a piece of garbage.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Piece of garbage. That's a clip that I hear played as a Twitch alert on the speedrunner who does GTA stuff. And so that's not actually his. I don't think that's actually his voice. I think that's someone else. But yeah, that's the
So these are cool. These are cool. These are fun. These are entertaining.
Yeah,
I want to see one of these every day. I want to be like when I'm swiping through shorts. Like I want this to be the 4th video that comes up.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, maybe these should be shorts. Maybe these actually should be shorts.
Yes, this is like perfect for shorts.
Yeah,
I would take some of these and remake them as YouTube shorts to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect length, perfect tight, like personality. I think that's our advice.
One more. Okay. You see, without the sound effects, and the music, it just loses everything. Now, let's try this one. I think we've just been copyright claimed there, probably. Oh well. Moving on. Channel 22. This is a gaming channel. All right. This could be the final channel of the day if my internet works. Okay. CVK. Let's end on a high with CVK approaching 2,000 subscribers.
Wow.
They are crushing it in terms of views, which is great.
More views than subscribers in a lot of cases.
What is the game? Is it League of Legends?
I think it's League of Legends.
Yeah.
And this is exactly for the gaming channels we've been looking at. This is exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. picking a game and then being really good at something in that game. So this person is giving what looks to be, and I don't really play this game, so it's hard to say, but it looks like they're giving a lot of value in League of Legends. They're helping you get better at the game. They're helping you pick the right items, pick the right characters, you know, the most annoying bot lane. So they're kind of like pointing out things in the game that maybe you should avoid. So this is what channel focus looks like, and these are the benefits of channel focus. This type of viewership, you've picked on something that there's an audience for it, and you're providing them value.
Meta picks work. I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
good on you.
Okay, guys, before you judge my pick, which sounds completely troll, please give me some time to explain it. It is so easy that most low elo idiots like me can without any problems.
People are watching it.
You can see here.
Right, robot voice. Let's just check if it's same in another one as well.
So you play Aces support, yes, and you don't put any points into Q.
So
I hate robot voices.
We've spoken about this, Dan, haven't we? Internet. We are not fans of in terms of long form content where it's a robot voice. Having said that, it feels as if the way the videos are tightly edited,
I would say they're getting away with it.
I may give the creator a pass on that one.
They're getting away with it, but if your retention doesn't look great, like if you're really struggling in the first 30 seconds, it's time to introduce a voice actor or get a microphone and do your own voice. You can definitely have a script sent to somebody on Fiverr or something and have them do all your voiceover if you just don't want to do it. But the lack of a human element is really tough for a lot of people, I think. I mean, let's do it right now in chat. A show of hands. It doesn't matter what kind of video. If you hear that voice, if you hear a robotic voice like that one, I'm not talking about the TikTok lady or anything like that. I'm talking about like that robot voice we just heard. Raise your hand. Do you click away from the video? I certainly do. Show a hand, little hand emoji, whatever you want to do.
Obviously not destroying the Nexus by yourself, since this might take some time. It's way faster to make these apes chill than make them commit for an FF15.
I feel like I have to focus so much harder on what he's saying.
Since most League of Legends players don't have any kind of dignity and go AFK when you ping them once.
Wow. Yup, I click off, no robot, gonna click right off, agree, I'd turn it off, no robot, no. we got hands going up in chat. We got someone hopes they're next. So Tish gave a thumbs down. So this is like just a very small sample size, but that's what we're trying to say. You're getting thousands of views right now. Could you be getting tens of thousands of views if you just get somebody to put their voice on these videos?
But on top of that, will you have to take a temporary hit on your content when maybe all of these people who've grown accustomed to that voice narration, they suddenly hear somebody else's voice? They're probably going to have a few seconds of, hang on, am I watching the right channel? You know, because there's now an association attached with it.
Yeah,
it's similar when we talk about channels that use like terrible thumbnails, but they get loads of clicks, and then they try something that looks a lot better, and then all of a sudden the click-through rate goes down. Sorry, Travis, do chime in.
No, you're right. It's a really interesting kind of conundrum, because there are videos that are getting good views on this channel. So, I mean, 2,000 views in 2 days on a not even quite 2,000 subscriber channel, it's kind of hard to argue.
Yeah.
It would still be worth a test. Like, if go on Fiverr, find someone you like, and just get them to read a script and for your next video and see. And I'm only saying Fiverr because if you're committed this hard to the robot voice, you must really not want to go on mic. It's a fear that everyone has. Everyone hates the sound of their own voice. But that aside, if you don't even want to buy the microphone or whatever, like, spend a couple bucks on a voiceover, send the script to somebody, they'll send it to you in a couple days, and try it, you know?
Yeah.
Again, it might be something with the way the videos are delivered, in that this was intentional, and it could be that the deadpan robot voice fits the style of the humor that's in the videos. I'm trying to play devil's advocate a little bit here, Dan, just because
I get it.
I think what we're offering here is we're offering our typical general YouTube opinion on something, and there are always going to be exceptions to all pieces of advice and rules, and it may be that this channel fits that exception. But, you know, just us watching it for the very first time, we were instinctively saying, don't like that robot voice. I would prefer a voice narration. And maybe, as your channel is still relatively small, that's a change that you can implement sooner rather than later. But yeah, and like it's as Travis said, a conundrum to think about as well. So we'll leave you thinking about that for the next 24 hours, whether or not you should have a robot voice on your videos. And we'll be able to tell you whether or not you should tomorrow, Dan, because we'll actually be doing video audits.
We will. And that means similar to what we just did. We're going to look at the videos. So you're going to send us your channels like you've been doing today. I'm probably going to make a form so we don't do the hashtag thing. I haven't set it up yet. But in any case, that stream is now public as of right now. So you can set a reminder if you'd like. Tomorrow, same time as this one started, we'll be doing video reviews. And we're looking forward to helping you get your retention up.
So
yeah, and if you are a member of vidIQ Max, or if you're not quite and you want to sign up, you actually will have a better opportunity of getting selected tomorrow, as you will be selected from a much smaller group of people.
Correct.
Indeed. Travis is going to go scurry back to the vidIQ Max towers and help everybody out there for the next 24 hours. Yes, he's on 24/7.
Pretty much.
So do make sure to ask as many questions as you can. And Dan and I will be there for Ask Us Anything on Friday. It's been a pleasure as always, Travis and Dan. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for all of the wonderful messages that you send us and the support you continue to give us here at vidIQ, because we're here to support you every single week, however that may be. Hey, I think we'll end with that. Rob is the best.